Well, it's Margaret again, and I just thought I'd bring you into the garden. We've got a glorious day here. Excuse my shadow, I'll try and keep out of the shadow if I can. And I just thought I'd give you a quick glimpse of the garden as we come towards the middle of May. And of course, you don't just get bugs on your orchids, you get bugs on your roses and all your other garden plants as well. So it's quite breezy. I do hope the breeze doesn't make too much of a noise while I'm videoing. And there's one of the... I have to be careful where I stand, otherwise I shall break my neck. This is one of the shrubs that we bought last year, and I can't remember the name now. The label's down there. I won't let Keith pull the labels off. I say, oh no, don't pull the labels off, I won't know what it is. And so it's a gorgeous one, that is, and it stretches over there. And if we look at the big yucca there, that's got a big flower inflorescence coming. So there's a lot of traffic, unfortunately, because we're in the vicinity of one of the local schools, and it's just pick-up time. So let's just... that's one of the little... Oh, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. It's right on the tip of my tongue. And, of course, we've got these. My brother-in-law calls these weeds, but they're not weeds. Lady's bonnet is one of the names. And like I say, we're due to put some spring plants in shortly, but as we're still in May, we can't actually pot some of the summer plants up. This one's been flowering for months. This is borage. It's one of those herbs, and it gets affected by mildew. I'm reluctant to cut it down at the moment. Oh, I've just found a big weed there. Let's pull that one out. That can come out. There we go. Sweet Williams coming into flower. And this is the front bed here. So if we turn round now, there's that lovely Acer from last year that we thought we'd lost with that drought. We have lost one tree, and that's a beech. This is another shrub that we put there last year, and we've got one round the back. I don't think Keith left a label in. It's terrible, he takes these labels out and then I can't remember what they are. That's a magnolia. We've got one round the side. There's that, you see, with a pink flower. It'll come to me as I'm walking round. They always do. And these are some of the peonies. We've got a peony tucked in there as well. So, and this one here, I'll turn you around here, which has got flowers coming soon. Oh, look at that, that's one of those little tiny caterpillars. Oh dear, I've dropped it. Ladybirds. But this is a standard Lavatera, and that's new, so, and it's got quite a few decent flowers to develop. Oh, the smell here is absolutely lovely. And this is the standard lilac. Oh, absolutely lovely. The traffic is bad, isn't it? And there's the front part. So I do apologise about the traffic, but what can you do? There we go, there's another lady's bonnet, different colours, and we've got these new this year. Keith put these in. Don't ask me what they are. Again, he's taken the label off. It's awful when you're out in the garden, you know, because you see weeds and I can't help myself. I have to pull them up. So if we go around here, try and keep out of my own shadow. Oh, look at that one. That's a nice one, isn't it? A nice Sweet William there. Just tucked in there. And this is also Sweet William. Oh, this here might look nice, mightn't it? Got little blue flowers on. That's a weed. I've not been able to get out into the garden very much, well, neither Keith and I. Well, not at the front here anyway, because we're that busy inside the house trying to get everything ready. I've had new furniture delivered and we've got a new king-size bed coming this weekend, and isn't that wonderful? We've never had a king-size bed, so that'll be a first for us. New bed and mattress, and we're getting everything ready. See, that's a weed. Keith goes mad when I pull all these out, and he said it's not a weed, it's just a flower in the wrong place. To me, the weeds, and they have to come out. And look at these, the different colours. That's like a black one. This is a pink one, pale pink one, and we've got wallflowers out. There's a wallflower. We've got carnations out. Ooh, it's lovely and warm here. Absolutely gorgeous. And we take a walk under the arch. I'll just take you to this direction first. This is the tree peony. If you remember last year, this tree peony had loads of blooms on it. And this year, and it was down here somewhere, we had one. There we go. We only had the one this year, which was such a shame, but that's just how it goes. And so if I back up and come through the archway, and then we've put just tucked under there where you might see a cane. That's one of those winter flowering clematis. The one on the other side's a white one. This one's a pink one. So maybe next spring. This is lovely. Look at this humongous fern. Absolutely love this fern. Size of it, there you go. Look at the size of it. And it just fills this corner here. And there's another one of those with the little pink flowers. Geranium. Is it geranium? It'll come to me. As soon as I go in now, I have to apologise about the hanging baskets, because these are ready to be taken out and repotted up with our spring and summer flowers. So this side's been a little bit neglected. The only thing that's doing well are the hebe, which is here, and some of the heathers are fine, and this is the lemon scented herb. Oh, that's nice. But a lot of these things, they're just the daffodils. And Keith was a little bit worried about this little maple this morning, because he'd noticed one or two of these leaves had dried back now, whether it's got too dry. Because we have had some quite windy weather. I'm not too sure, but never mind. Let's just take you over this side now, if I can bypass the rubbish here. This is all to go to the local tip. This is where Keith's been pulling these box out, and we're getting rid of these. And I looked at these nice pieces of wood and canes, but they're still in the green. Now I don't know how long it'll take for these to dry out, but I suppose I could throw some under the hedge. That's where I got the other ones from, because they'd been under the hedge for so long. These are some of the tulips we've still got, and And the reason we've got these here is because they're under the shade. This is a blue ceanothus, is it? That's new, that hasn't flowered yet. And of course there's the big hazel, contorted hazel. That will be full of yellow flowers soon. And we've got peonies down there, wallflowers, and everything's looking a treat. So if I go round here, this, believe it or not, is a white forsythia, and Keith, it only came as a little twig, so Keith started that off in this terracotta planter here, and hopefully come the back end we'll be able to plant that out. Now this is the mock orange, and that's showing its blooms, and then when this actually all comes out in bloom it'll be absolutely gorgeous. This is the one that comes out with a yellow flower. So we travel along here now. This is the bed that we made smaller, and this is a magnolia, and I think those are supposed to be yellow blooms. There we go. It's a big peony. That's a pale pink one, that one is. That's a rhododendron. That was moved, but that seems to have settled down after the move. And this is a little, that's a nice little azalea. That was the one I got for 99p the other year from the garden centre. Now, we call this the red robin, and the reason we've put that there is because that was the beech tree that died because of the very hot summer we had last year, and that's such a disappointment because it's such a lovely tree, that is. But unfortunately, you know, some survive and some don't, so we just have to move on, and we've got that one there to take its place. Again, we've got peonies here, and that's the horse chestnut one, the smaller garden version. And again, another peony, and everything. If I gently move around and take you this way, trying not to make too much noise. We've got the traffic passing us, of course. This is one of the lovely Japanese maples. I love this colour. It's like an apricot. Beautiful, beautiful colour. And of course we've got that one there, which is the deep red one. But we've been so busy, like I said. We've got dahlias coming through. We've planted all them up best we can. Those were from last year. These are crinums, and these have come out from last year. These were overwintered in the garage. See, the verbena. That was a mass, wasn't it? But that's finished with now. And there's some more of the ladies' bonnets. And right down there are some little pinks. So if I go around the corner, you see these baskets here, these have got to be filled yet. And this is the wedding cake tree, the one that comes up in layers. And that's done really well this winter. I'm surprised. It Didn't look so well in the spring, but now it's come through and it looks a treat. And this is the other contorted hazel. This is the darker version. So I'm going to step on the slate now, and there's one of our maples where Keith does the clouding effect. So they look like nice big pom-poms. And if we turn round, this is for Todd of Todd's Tropicals. That's one of the water lilies we've got. Now, without getting my hands in there, I don't know which variety that is, but that's one of them. We've had to move this from over there, but it seems to like it here. It's flowered. Again, no label, so I don't know what it is. And that little pot of pansies is still doing fine. And if we come over to this area now, we've put a clematis in there to romp up this frame, and we've got a new shrub down there, and Keith's put all this fencing round here and cut back these berberis. And he bought, as part of my retirement present, he bought me this Bethesda. It's a David Austin climbing rose, and I'm hoping it'll climb that way, and maybe come over to this frame here. But that's a very fragrant one. And if we come round here, these are the everlasting sweet peas. We've got some more sweet peas coming to go all the way around the back fence. If I take you around here, and this is the other, I'm in my own shadow now, this is another clematis that Keith got. I've no idea, I can't tell you what that is, but it's a named one, and that's supposed to be very, very highly fragrant. I shall have to just get a clip now and clip that one. That one's starting to wander. And there we've got another water lily in this one. There's only 2 leaves on that one, so we'll just have to see how we go on with those. And if I take you around this way, that's of course the beautiful big maple we've got. And we've got a mahonia there. I'll take you around that side in a minute. We've got dahlias, and we've got a coal frame here, which have got all different things in. And see, they're all ready to be put out into the garden. Those are fuchsias. And these are begonias, and they'll go out as soon as possible. So this is the other part here, and all along this back fence we'll be putting fragrant sweet peas. And what I've done here is I've planted as many of the tulips as possible, and also the gladioli. So that's this area, and I'll take you around here. Believe it or not, there, growing out of the wall, are 2 snapdragons, antirrhinums. I can't believe that. And what's that one? Love in the Mist. And that Aubrietia. That's growing out of the wall as well. I don't know how they manage to anchor themselves as seeds, but they do. So if I take you around here now, all these tubs here, they're waiting for us to get them ready for the summer. Here's some of the bedding plants. This is one of the beds, and without stepping on it, there's one of the geraniums, and that's a Johnson's Blue, I love that colour instead of the pink ones. So these are Stilbees, and that's a big hosta. All different ones. And then we've got carnations there, and this is the nice big standard rose, which is of course canary bird, and it was in full flush last time, and this is just giving us a second flush, which is very unusual actually. Look at that, absolutely lovely. And if I turn round here, this is one of the new beds that we filled up, and everything's coming along fine. This is a new Acer, very fine one. And if I back up this way now and take you around this side of the pond, the tadpoles are really getting very, very large now. I don't know at what point they will start having legs on them. Oh, there's Mr. Ali. There we go. Can you see the tadpoles all swimming around? There's Mr. Alligator there. There we go. Look at them all. Absolutely, and they like to bask on the stones that we've got there. So when you put new things up, there's always weeds could come through. So I'll take them off. These some of the again, I'm in my own shadow, I apologise. This was that lovely what do they call it? Conifer. That was only £5, and that's got its nice spring colours. There was another one. So if we go along here, this is the garden from the other side that we've just been. And that's the back side of the pond. This is that spring flowering clematis. Well, that'll have to be cut off because that's so vigorous it'll strangle this camellia here. That's no good. That's one of the other clematis that we've got out. There we go. And this is the other maple that Keith cuts into this nice pom-pom shape. And we've got water lilies in that one. And we've got water lilies in that one. And this is the Gertrude Jekyll. It's a lovely pink rose. The perfume of that is absolutely fantastic. Look at the buds on this clematis. Look at them. Lots and lots of buds. That's a variegated maple, pink and green. We'll go over there. Behind in that corner, and I don't want to step behind because there's a big rhododendron, and that's going to be a deep red one. But everything, as you can see, is in full growth. Even this South African plant here, clivia I think that. No, I don't think it's a clivia. Or whatever it is. That's flowering. Little lilies coming up there. That's one of the new Aces. And this is an azalea which is absolutely gorgeous, and unfortunately that's just going over. And there we go. It's one of the cones on the fern here, this conifer. Peonies